Hello, everyone watching. It's your boy Josh Shops,
It's your boy too.
and we back again with another episode of Number Review, Last of Us Season 2, Episode 5. So what I want you to do is, before we get started, make sure you hit the like button, subscribe, and after, let to hear your comments. Also join us on social media. We got a Facebook group, Twitter, and we also on Rumble. So you can watch us on Rumble or YouTube, your preference. Okay? All right, Tay, Episode 5, Season 2. We almost did. 2 episodes away. Any reaction?
Um, yeah, it's continuing off of episode 4 of this season with Last of Us. Where they're still in Seattle. Well, they starting to figure out what Seattle's about now.
Mhm.
Finding out the ongoing battle between the Scars and the Wolves, pretty much at this
Yeah.
point. Find out there's been an ongoing battle between those two pretty much forever. Um, and, finding out about we found out more about the backstories of certain of characters, especially especially Dina. We actually get a backstory on her now. Finding out about how she got her first kill.
Mhm.
Pretty much protected her family in, I believe it was New Mexico, if I'm not mistaken, or was it Arizona?
New Mexico. It was New
So,
Mexico.
so yeah, we find out that we don't know how she got to Jackson, but
That's a good
neither,
question. We don't know. We don't know that either. We just know that didn't our family get killed by by a bunch of raiders.
yeah, Raiders. Yeah, she and her first unalive was
Mhm.
her. Pretty much was the Raider that went after her and her family. She was only 8 years old. Like I said, post-apocalyptic. You know,
There's
at
no
that
rules.
moment, yeah, there's no,
Morals go out the window when they're in the world
yeah.
apocalypse.
But yeah, we then, like I said, we go back to you know, um, them being in the theater where they get a plan together to, go through the city to, and they find out where at least one of the friends of Abby friends is, and that was Nora.
Mhm.
Um, and they pinpoint that location on that, and then after that, like I said, just all all hell just breaks loose. We finding out about um new new infected, but they in a group now. We find out about we actually see the scars and the scars in action. Uh,
Yeah, so pretty much they had a WLF tied up and they was about to
yeah,
do their normal ritual. Was it filler love? That's they that march
yeah,
they prophet who technically died. But I get they're more religious. That
yeah,
I think of them as the evil Amish people. That's the that's the easiest way I can think of.
yeah,
I'd probably say probably the best about this is introducing the spores. I think that was a good introduction.
yeah.
And it pretty much showed the backstory, how it happened in the hospital, and
Mhm.
pretty much the lady had to send her son down there, and they had to close it off and make it that sacrifice.
Which we found
I,
it's
mhm.
literally B2 of the actual hospital. So it's still in the hospital. It's just
Yeah,
B2.
she said nothing was on that floor, not even the rats. So,
Yes.
and
Yeah.
she revealed it's in the air, and they kept that a secret. It was in the air.
Mhm.
So, yeah, because the hospital is the key point you want to have control of
Yes.
in a post-apocalyptic world. I'm just
And yeah,
throwing
because
that
all the
out there.
resources and all the medication and everything.
Medicine,
Yeah.
medication, because eventually you're gonna have wounded soldiers,
Yep.
and pretty much the war is ramping up against the scars or the
Yeah.
Seraphites. So they pretty much need every human being with a heartbeat in this
Yeah.
battle. So yeah, I'm trying to think of Jesse. Jesse coming in.
Yeah, I'm about to say we could just go to that
Jesse
part
and
where
Tommy. Jesse and Tommy is in there. Jesse came and saved the day, even though Ellie was they was a little reckless taking that
yeah.
route. I'm just gonna be honest with
Well,
you.
they did say, prior to them leaving out, let's get a little reckless. That's exactly what they
Nah,
said.
if WLF and the Seraphites don't go over there, it's heavily infected. Like
Yeah,
it's like uncontrollable. So they just
they just
isolated. We just not gonna go over there. Yeah,
yeah. But the funny thing is, it's like they knew it was affected. They just ain't know which of the affected
yeah,
is. Then we find out they're the
yeah.
stalkers, and it wasn't just
It
three,
was
wasn't
bad.
5, it wasn't 7, it was 11 of them.
11 of
And,
them. Yeah.
and, and they some sneaky infected, like
I would have just hey, I would have just bombed the building and just called it a day.
exactly,
If
pretty
I was
much.
yeah, like if that was me, I would just bomb the building. We sent a team in, everybody got with this bit. They didn't come back. We just bombing the building.
Yeah, you just
There's no point in even like
close it off, get rid of it. Point blank period, just get rid of it.
yeah,
But then, like you said, they find out about the stalkers. They see that they can group, and I'm like, I'm pretty sure, just like
yeah.
you said,
They finding out that they're intelligent. They're not
yeah,
like just
yeah,
just running around all crazy.
yeah. They're not reckless with it. They moves are precise. They
Yeah.
they're sneaky. They're quiet. You don't know when they
But
get when
if
they.
you just look at this episode, it's about evolution too. The spores
Yeah,
is it just another way to get infected. It's not just through a bite or attack. It's in
nope,
the air.
yep,
Yeah. So they went a little well, technically spores was introduced if you go to the video game, it was introduced in
yeah,
the first and the second. But the way I think they did it was since it was in a closed captivity, moisture in the basement, that they pretty much evolved into something different than what you normally see. So
yeah.
that's why the spores.
Yeah. Literally, with the spores, your clean air turns into infected air in a matter of
Yeah.
seconds.
So what they did was they took look Hodges,
Yeah,
hate to say it, what's her son? Leon? Leon
Leon,
was down
yeah,
there, the guy. Yeah. He pretty much was breathing it out, so they were using his body and lungs just to breathe the spores
mhm,
out. 'Cause, I'm not gonna get this is spoiler. When Ellie was down there, if you notice, he like turned his head and sprayed the spores towards her.
mhm,
So that was like their version of attacking you.
yep.
But in the game, they did jump out of that little nest and jump out at you. I don't know if they're going to introduce that. They might introduce that.
They
That
might
might be.
introduce it, but I don't think they're gonna. If anything, they're gonna do a season 3. I don't think they're gonna do it this
Yeah,
season.
that might be a potential spot. It's possible that could be like next episode. It's
Yeah,
possible that could be like
but we already
seven,
know.
by 6 or 7.
Yeah, because we already know it's in B3. You don't want to go down B3
Yeah,
right
it would be 3. They've been hinting at it.
now.
I
Yeah,
think they're going to save that for next season. Or
got
if
the
they do
season.
that would be the season finale. That would
Yeah,
be the season finale if they do go that route. If they do go that route with that, that'd be a great season finale if they go that route.
yeah. And then like then we're gonna go. Like I said, we're going to with after the fact that Jesse came in and saved them from the stalkers. Um, we find out that we see the action of the scars, like we said, with them,
Yeah, with the
pretty much,
sickle, with the
yeah,
sickle killing it. Yeah,
yeah. Then
but
they did that, hit Dina in the leg with a daggone arrow
yeah, she
in the
got hit.
thigh. They hit her in the thigh. Not just the leg. They hit her in the thigh. They was making sure she can't move. Um, you know, um, like you said, finding out Jesse and Tommy made it the day after they left. The day after,
I want to give another angle. What about the love triangle we got going on?
and that's like a
We got
reflection of
we got the baby daddy, we
yeah.
got Dina, and we got the side chick. I'm joking. I'm joking.
Well, the funny thing is, I want to see
I'm
how they're gonna
joking.
play. I really want to know how they're gonna like play that out to know that Jesse's the father and not.
Yeah, yeah,
You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? Like I
I'm,
want to
jo-
see how they're
I'm
gonna play
joking.
that out.
I'm joking about the love triangle, but it is a little love triangle going on.
Yeah,
They didn't really touch on it because she got hit with what I mean, with an arrow, and he
yeah.
was running in the woods, so it makes sense.
And
But
on
I
top
would
of
say,
that,
don't forget about her finding Nora in the
yeah,
hospital. But I also like the part where she sneaked through the grass. That was just like the game, when she was hiding from the dogs. Yeah,
yes,
it was very, very similar. So, yeah,
yeah. And then of course, between them two, it's like it's one of those things where Jesse still Jesse still has feelings for Dina. Only problem
That's,
is Dina got feelings for Ellie, and Ellie starting to have the same
mhm.
way.
Yeah,
Um, and then now it became that conflict between the two because clearly something bothered him when they snuck out. Clearly, with
yeah.
Jesse.
They probably, but I can understand why Tommy and Jesse they changed it a little bit different from the
Yeah,
video game.
yeah, they did.
But I think Tommy probably is gonna do that because he know Ellie meant so much to Joe that he probably came to save her and bring her back. That
Yeah,
probably the reason that probably was the reasonable. That makes the most logical sense
yeah.
in this
But the fact
storyline.
that they snuck out the next day though, after they found out where she was going, um, yeah, makes more sense of what could possibly be coming later. Um, and we just got and then we could just go straight, her sneaking through, like you said, going through the game when she snuck through the grass, to attract the dog to move him away. For her going into the hospital and seeing Noah Nora face to face since the
Yep. And
Joel since the
that
Joel
scene
since
was just
Joel been
like in the
alive.
video game.
Yeah,
When
they
she
line
switched the
for line.
switch over to
Yeah,
red down the hallway by the elevator, just it looked just very. They took just about. It was almost the same as the video game, almost about
yeah.
99%.
I mean, even the line, even them meeting in the room, that was line for line. That was straight
Mhm,
up line for line action, like scene from scene, pretty much. Even the
mhm.
run, but the only thing they did different was the running. She didn't shoot at her at the in the game. She shot at her in the show. Like it was, you know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? Um, they did play the wolves. The two people on the balcony. They did that was in there. Her escaping through the elevator shaft. I think that was different.
I thought they went a different route.
Yeah, yeah. She didn't go through the elevator shaft in the game, but she did do it in the show.
But she did stop at B2.
Yes, she did start with B2. So that was
Stop at
that
B2.
was supposed to be the lead up for the whole, her going down there. Um, and then she finds out that Ellie is immune. She's the girl that they've been pretty much looking for, and she finds out, why, pretty much she's trying to pick her brain on why she's doing it. Um, Funny thing is, Ellie already had in mind what she was going to do. Didn't matter, wasn't going to stop her. She knew she was the chosen one, the quote unquote chosen one in that world. She's the chosen one,
Mhm.
and she said, "I know. I'm still gonna kill you. No man, like I'm still gonna
Mhm.
unalive you. Nope, I don't care."
Mhm.
Because her mission now went from being pretty much cargo to be the cure for this whole thing to now revenge warpath because you killed the most important person in my life at that moment. She did not want to hear what happened. She knows what happened. And still to be menacing about it tells you everything you need to know. Anytime when you see the main villain kneels down to face you, you know it's never nothing good.
Yeah. Yeah,
She
no, I'm not
will.
gonna shoot you. She grabbed it.
No, I'm not gonna shoot you. I'm gonna take this pipe, just like Abby took that golf club. And I'm just gonna beat you to hell. That's all. Until you tell me where she's at.
Mhm.
When are y'all gonna tell me where she is? Like it ain't you was there. Matter of fact, you held me down. So guess what? You gonna be the one that's gonna tell me. So you know what I'm saying? You're going to tell me.
Mhm.
Um, yeah, and then like I said, she found out she's immune. Um, she she tried to, like, I guess, give some type of remorse on
Mhm.
her whole thing where did you get did you see what Joel did he killed the person that literally could be get that could do a cure for this whole thing. And like I said, she said, "I know that ain't stopping me." Oh
No,
yeah,
no, no. Tay, she was 95% dead. She might as well have gone through it.
yeah,
She
yeah.
was already there. Risk
She
getting shot at, slipped through the hospital. Yeah, she was already there.
well, not even that. The whole thing she had to process before even going to Seattle to face them. The fact of seeing her quote unquote post apocalyptic dad get killed in front of her was all the motivation she needs to continue it.
Mhm.
I mean, Dina put a little battery in her back too. You know what I'm saying? Telling her, if she was on the other foot, she'll take forever to find the person that
Mhm.
killed, her sister and her mom. It's the
Mhm.
same thing like it is with Ellie. She wants to make them pay, all of them. It's not
Yeah,
just
she on a revenge tour,
yeah.
so I understand. All right. Anything else?
Oh, we could go. Man, we could just go straight off episode 6 and see what the trailer, the end trailer of that. Yeah, get your
Yeah,
tissue.
yeah,
Just go ahead, get your tissues ready, get your emotions in order, because it is a Joel episode. So this is probably
yeah, Joe. Well, technically, this episode they did a small flashback, to
yeah at the
Joe
end. Yeah, saying
at
hey
the
kid,
end.
yeah. But now the episode 6 is probably going to be the one that is going to a lot of emotion is going to get is going to come out.
Yeah, a lot of fans say that Joe's gone. I'm just throwing
Mm-hmm.
that out there. But overall, episode 5, what we give it a rating?
Well, I mean, I'm about to say truthfully before I even get my rating. If you look at episode 6 is going pretty much going to be the outline of the story. What happened when they got to Salt Lake? I mean, going to got
Yeah, I
from
think he's gonna basically tell her the
yeah
truth what happened in Salt Lake
yeah.
City. That's what the flashback gonna be.
The Salt Lake and Jackson thing is going to come out in episode 6. I firmly believe
Yeah.
that's what's going to look like.
And that could lead to why the disconnect they had. If you look
Yes,
at before his death, they wasn't on best of terms. We just gonna say that.
yeah.
Went on best of terms.
They was getting
Okay, so
close.
what we
They was getting close, but then
yeah,
yeah.
so what would you get a rating? 0 to 10.
Um, I still give it a 7.5. Actually, I'm not gonna change
7.5. I'm not gonna go down. I'm gonna say like a 7. I give it a 7 out of 10. It was a solid episode.
it. I'm just gonna keep it with what I did with episode 4 because the fact that it literally is continuation, literally.
Yeah, episode 4 that I would say episode 4 and 5 was roughly about a 7, 7.2,
Yeah.
in my opinion. It's not an 8. We won't see that
No, no, no,
till
no,
unless
no,
they
no. Nah, that's not an 8.
nah
But
nah nah. And
it's I give it 7.5 because they played out they played out the Noah Russ. They played Noah Russ like scene play by play. I actually like how they played that out. I do like the fact that how they did the character development with Dina as well, of her actually having a backstory. Because in the game, she did not have a backstory until she was pregnant. That was her story. I like the fact that they actually gave her um more development to know if she like when season 3 happens. Now we know why she's going to be one of the baby faces, or pretty much one of the people that's going to be on screen a lot in the next season. That
Mhm.
explains why. Now we got a backstory of it. You know what I'm saying? So
Okay. All right. So I think we're going to end it here. I want to thank everybody for watching. Make sure you hit the like button, subscribe. Also, leave a comment. Join us on Rumble. Join us on Twitter. We also have a Facebook group where you can interact. But I say any other social media, feel free to follow us.
yeah,
All right. Peace and hair grease.
this is what we